Hey, Court, can you cue up, I'm going to say the Jets, and I want you to know, this is live, let's say, cue up Stephen A. Smith again for me.
Stephen A. again on the Jets this time.
Tell me when you're ready.
They're trash!
Jets.
They're trash!
Giants.
They're trash!
Knicks.
They're trash!
Nets.
They're trash!
Mets.
They're trash!
What happened to New York?
They're trash!
Rangers.
They're trash!
Islanders.
They're trash!
Devils.
They're trash!
Cosmos.
They're trash!
Man, I don't know. What are they now? Red Bull United?
That mess, whatever that is. New York City.
They're trash!
All right, ready, Court?
Ready?
I is. Welcome to another installment of A Different LenZ. I'm Mark Williams, and we're going to give you a little background on exactly what's going on in the world, the hot trends, the topics, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I have to my left.
What's up? It's the gambler, the tragic antagonist. We're here at Different LenZ to talk about all the hot topics we got going on today. I'm ready to go.
Let's go. Well, without Katrina, she's currently on location in where's she going?
Katrina's on location in Atlanta, getting prepared for the Colin Kaepernick workout for NFL on Saturday. That's big.
We're going to talk about that later. But first, we're going to start off with the local news. We're going to start with the New York Knicks. What's going on with the New York Knicks? Now, right now, they're 2-8, and which led us to a worldwide rant by one of Queen's finest and ESPN personality, Stephen A. Smith. And he did. What did Stephen A. Smith say? What?
They're trash!
Yeah, pretty much.
Full disclosure, ESPN Radio in New York City is the flagship station for the New York Knicks, and I'm still telling you, they stink!
Well, I think he sums it up what most of New Yorkers are saying right now. What's the point of us tanking last year if we're just going to stink again this year?
Oh, well, you know what's funny to me? Is that no one thought that the Knicks were going to be good this year. Let's be 100% honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I go into the Knicks, the rooms and the sports blogs and so forth, and everybody's ranting and they want to get rid of Fitzdale, which we'll get to in a minute. They want to get rid of Mills, the Knicks are trash, this, that. I think people just have fun saying the Knicks are trash. I know, because they used to New York originally be on top. But this is the deal. The Knicks don't have any talent. I wish people would stop expecting miracles. The Knicks don't have any talent. There's nothing happening. What you have is a young player who might be a burgeoning superstar in R.J. Barrett. That's your first piece there. Right. I don't know about Knox. I don't know about these other guys. That's your first piece. You need 2 or 3 superstars to really compete in this league. So until we get that, I can't even assess the coach and what the coach is doing because we don't have any talent. And we all know that great talent make great coaches.
Fitzdale was dealt a hand of clubs.
Yeah.
And a game of spades.
Worse. And I don't even play spades.
But I will say that I like the R.J. Barrett is good at what he does. Score the ball, don't pass anybody else.
Right now. But
I'm a Kevin Knox guy. I like Kevin Knox. I think he has a potential, but he's not being used right as far as I'm concerned in the business.
Unfortunately, again, if you're looking for somebody to come here with you and talk about the offense and the defense that the Scurvy Knicks run, I'm not the guy.
Gotcha.
Why? We don't have the pieces to be good yet. We don't have anybody. I'm going to keep it real. Go look at Houston's roster. Go look at the Clippers roster. Go look at the Clippers' 4th option on offense. Or, come on, man. And then look at the Knicks. There's no one on the Knicks that can start for any of these teams. They can probably fit in as a piece. Because, okay, you might be a good rebounder. Mitch Robinson might be a nice piece on a team like the Lakers. Usable if you have a good team. My defensive presence, but then we need to scorers first.
Well, I will say this, and you're absolutely right. However, the Knicks organization, top down, is as toxic as they come. And if I'm coming in to buy that franchise, everybody goes. And from Dolan on down to no disrespect to anyone, and I respect a lot of people. One of my best friends, Roy Ivy, that organization, they were set up.
And I'm upset about that because that was the first all-black coaching staff in NBA history.
And GM
with
and
the
president.
GM. You got the GM, the president, Fizdale, you have Mills, you have Perry, and then you have Mackins, General Mackins as well, as assistant general manager.
And using around.
But you know what's messed up is this social media age, right? How long has that band of brothers, so to speak, been together? Not even 2 full seasons yet, right?
A year and a half.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
So they weren't afforded the same time that somebody in Golden State
This is
was.
my thing. Like you said, what do you expect? Like, do you believe in miracles? Yes! Like, come on, man. No front office staff was going to bring that group of Knicks players up to level. What we have to do right now is understand that the tank is in and accept the tank. Because we need the talent.
Right.
Why do we need the talent? If the Knicks were a viable organization that could attract free agents, but you see, that's not possible. KD and Kyrie went to the Brooklyn Nets. Let's not act like the Nets are popping. They still do who on the stick to me.
I agree.
With Kyrie.
Great uniform.
And with KD, they'll be dude on the stick with cream on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's a viable future either. But the Knicks need to get some talent. You have to understand, we are years and years. We are years away.
But you can't say that to the delusional New York Knicks fan.
But it's already been over a decade and a half of futility. At this point, fine, rent every day then. Rent every day. Fire the coaches.
Right.
Get rid of the players. It doesn't matter if you don't have those 2 or 3 special players. That's all that's happening in today's NBA.
So back to what Stephen A. Smith said, the New York Knicks are
trash! Do it, play it again, Sam.
Trash!
Say it again one more time.
Trash!
Okay, now, you hear the chants about fire Fizdale. There's a name that's going to continually come up until he gets a job. What's your thoughts on Mark Jackson?
Well, you know, you can catch my thoughts about Mark Jackson for years now on theshadowleague.com, where I've written extensively about Mark Jackson. I've been a huge advocate for Mark Jackson. I've wanted Mark Jackson to be coach of the Knicks years and years ago, before Fizdale was even there. This time I thought when they gave him the interview he would be coach, but I realized, everyone realizes why Mark Jackson doesn't have a job in the NBA. It's because of his beliefs. It's because of his stance on the LGBTQ community.
Right.
And
it doesn't play well.
It doesn't play well, especially in New York City. So Mark's been somewhat blackballed. Now, he's still a beloved son of New York City, but it's like a fine line between branding and marketing. You don't want someone that is so, against the LGBT community that can really hurt you, because they fill a lot of seats in Madison Square Garden for Knick events and non-Knick events. You don't want boycotts and all this crazy stuff. What helps Mark is, like I said, he's a beloved son of the city. So I think people can turn the other cheek if they hire him. But this is the only place. And remember, in Golden State, let's just facts are facts. One of the owners of Golden State is actually gay. He's a member of that community, and he was uncomfortable with Mark Jackson's sermons during practice and his stance on that. So it's a taste thing. I don't think it's a big deal. But I've been wanting Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson is the perfect coach to coach the Knicks. He's a team builder. He proved that at Golden State. He's a great talent evaluator. So, other than politics.
And he knows how to get around the New York bullshit press and satisfy the New Yorkers.
So where are we with that? In your opinion,
well, I don't see Fizdale leave because he hasn't been given a fair chance as a rep right now. So I
didn't warn him.
But he's here.
But he has not been given a fair chance.
So he's out there playing with clubs, and everybody's cutting the clubs, and he doesn't have any space. So he can't.
He's playing checkers. Everybody else is playing chess. He's coming to a gun battle with a knife. He's
every goddamn analogy in the goddamn world. He ain't got the pieces. He has 4 or 5 pieces that's viable role plays in the NBA. Not gonna run down but Kevin Knox is one, RJ's one. I would say that Mitchell Robinson is definitely something that you can use on the team. And I guess as a spark off the bench, like Julius Randle or something like that come on, score, get out the game, do whatever.
Yeah, probably he's been very exposed this year, trying to be a one option. The turnover,
he's a third option guy.
Ineptitude at certain times with being able to
he's a third option guy. But he's forced to play 1.5, 2 options with New York, so depleted of
As
talent.
players off and on bad teams, and what they tend to do, correct me if I'm wrong, is play for a bad team, play more minutes than you would usually play, have a high volume of shots, production that you would usually have, and twist that into a big time contract with another team. You go back to the bench, but you make it 12, 30 days.
You and your agent say, boom, yeah, but this point
Right.
game, right, this money.
Right, so you go to a better team, sit on the bench for a starting money.
Right, so DJ Killer Court, tell us what Queen's Finest said about the New York Knicks before we close out the segment.
Trash!
The $8 million man said the Knicks are
Trash!
Go back.
Alright, here we are, we're back. Another segment that we want to discuss that seems to be all over the news is I look at the newspaper, old school, look at the newspaper, read ESPN.
It's all right to still read the newspaper, be able to read.
Read the transactions, all that stuff. I looked at NFL. I'm not a big NFL guy,
Right.
but I do know a couple of things. I know that we have Katrina now in Atlanta right now checking out the Colin Kaepernick workout.
Yep, shouts to Katrina, a different lens out there,
We out there. We
waiting for Kaepernick's workout on Saturday. Yep.
But we have here, well, look at the Super Bowl. I have the Super Bowl contenders. They all seem to have a couple things in common as far as the person that's behind the center.
Right.
I know that we have Brady, which eventually one of the best.
Brady's always going to be there until he's not there.
Right, he's there.
Brady's going to be there.
Rightfully so. But I look at these young guys coming up, and they all are black quarterbacks.
And you know what's interesting? I wrote an article today in theshadowleague.com about Russell Wilson and his impact, especially the modern day NFL on black quarterbacks and why he's most important. You know, not discrediting Michael Vick and Doug Williams and all those guys, but you know, this is another era now. And I feel like his impact is longer lasting. I feel like Russell Wilson's the first black NFL quarterback, other than Donovan McNabb, I would think to have like a sustained, decade-long career of sustained excellence where you're competing every year. And shouts to Nick Wright from he broke Nick Wright. He broke down everything Russell Wilson's done from his rookie year and how amazing he's been. But you have plenty of black quarterbacks, and when I write these articles, a lot of people, I guess nobody of really our color, but the non-black persuasion, they say, oh, how come you always got to talk about race? How come this, that? No. If you understand the history of black quarterbacks in America and how they've been treated and discredited and lies have been created to make you think that they were intellectually inferior and they couldn't make the decision, and they're still saying things like this about black.
But look at Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the best quarterbacks right now in the game. We have him, Mahomes,
Jackson, Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Teddy Bridgewater, who went 5-0 when Breeze was out. Kyler Murray. They know. Russell Wilson is the reason why a player like Kyler Murray was barely 5'10", could get drafted number 1 overall.
So here's what the scouts said about on draft day about Lamar Jackson.
Jackson played, and Jackson has no shot of playing quarterback in the NFL. None. Can't make throws, can't read coverages.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, run that back. Because that was Doug Gottlieb, who's actually a basketball guy. I don't know why anybody would listen to Doug Gottlieb do basketball. That's like listening to Stephen A. Smith talk about baseball, but go ahead.
Lamar Jackson played, and Jackson has no shot of playing quarterback in the NFL. None.
So that clip didn't age well.
Doug Gottlieb is an ass.
That didn't age well.
It didn't age well at all. But that's what happens when you ask basketball guys to be an authority on football.
That's true. But there's cases where there's football people saying that these guys should become running backs.
Bill Polian.
Or become wide receivers.
Bill Polian, the respected ex-general manager of the Colts, Peyton Manning, was influential in that whole situation, with Eli Manning. He said Lamar Jackson should be a wide receiver or a running back. But that's when it's time to retire.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people give these people passes, buffoonery. That's when it's time to give it up. When you can look at a Lamar Jackson, who I easily looked at and told he could be something in the NFL.
Which is the eye test. The eye test tells you that he can play. Analytics.
Oh, he was doing the high test.
Right, yeah.
I get it. He was doing the high test.
I was saying, analytics tells you that he's not going to do well.
Analytics in every sport is the black man's poison. Analytics are designed to balance the black man's genetic superiority. You want me to just tell the truth?
We're at a different lens.
Okay. That's what analytics and metrics means. It means if we just go on athletic superiority, we won't have a diverse league.
Agreed.
So we need to bring analytics in to temper how many athletes, code word for black players, are actually in the league. So when people start talking about like metrics, analytics, that shit never applies to black athletes.
Like you said, it's a way to bring in a different college demographic into the game.
Yeah.
The European. For instance, Mark Cuban, I know we all on a tangent right
Look
now.
at the NBA, yeah.
Mark Cuban.
They couldn't find any white American players
Right.
to play in the NBA.
So where they go.
So what did they have to do? They had to institute Euro ball.
Right.
Right? Like, yeah, fucking stupid.
We see
You
it.
understand? The guys at ESPN, friends of mine, they got a cosign on that BS.
Yeah.
They instituted Euro ball,
Right.
totally changed the league. Everybody talking about the guys are more athletic now. Yeah, but they did more athletic things years ago.
Right.
They might be more athletic now. They did more athletic things years ago. And now, you know, we got the Euro ball. They got it right where they want the league. If you have to be a 40% three-point shooter to survive in the NBA, that has never been the traditional go-to skill set for the black player. Not that we can't shoot. We got something great.
Steph Curry.
Of all time.
Reggie Miller.
Steph Curry to Del Curry to all these guys.
Right.
You know?
I agree. But you're right about the analytics stuff. That's a way to. That's a code word for let's bring in somebody that can shoot at a higher rate, more efficient rate.
And then we can have Europeans, white Europeans, infiltrate the league because the white Americans aren't getting it done. The European players will naturally be more skilled than the white American players, which allows them to succeed in the NBA.
Right, agreed.
But it ain't no way that the white American players can get the same type of skills training as European players because that's not what they stress in America.
Right, our system's different, completely different. They're doing that from 14.
Japan, Germany. I seen a 2-year-old girl the other day on YouTube like this. She out dribble you, your son,
I'll bust her ass.
probably Magic Johnson.
I'll bust her ass. Bust her up.
She had a little ponytail. Japan, but it was 100 of them in a room with 2 basketballs. I swear you, they were no older than 6 years
I
old.
don't believe it. I would say that they're more skilled today.
They put my son in shade. He couldn't even last 10 minutes. They go for an hour straight like
They
that.
want to run right past their asses.
Yeah, but
anyway, back to
just saying.
football. Back to football. So how do we overcome the stereotypes that's attached to NFL black quarterbacks? How do we overcome that?
We're overcoming it.
By doing well.
We're at the golden age of black quarterbacks, and the only way we can overcome anything in education, in politics, in music, in science, in business was by doing well. There's no advancing through failure for the black man.
We gotta do well.
When you see people be pioneers and break barriers, it's because they have achieved at the highest level.
Right.
That's why you really don't see average black backup quarterbacks. The black quarterbacks that you do see are fucking sick. You see what I mean?
That's why
they're fucking sick. They're not Brian Hoyers and these backup bums that get to just have 10-year careers and feed their family and their garbage. You know what I mean? You gotta be unbelievable.
So which leads me to this. Today's news, somebody like Katrina's in Atlanta. Why is she in Atlanta right now?
Katrina's in Atlanta because Colin Kaepernick finally setting up a private workout and showing the world and everyone that he does want to play, dismissing all these myths and fallacies that have been laid at his feet because, you know, he has, knowing that you can't speak about certain things because of the settlement,
Right.
the well-deserved settlement,
Right.
and everything else. So this is going to be the biggest story of the weekend. And there's a list. Actually, there's a guy, Xavier Pope, that I was looking at on Twitter. He had a list of about 11 teams that
Going down there.
should be going down there. I mean, look at some of these backups, man.
I hope the Jets are on that list.
Oh my goodness.
I hope the Giants are on that list.
Wow.
Washington, they got the new brother there.
Now watch this. Miami needs to go down
Miami,
there, especially with a little
Cincinnati.
bit, with a little bit of seasoning salvage. You
And I'm
can't
saying
go
this.
wrong. Just giving them a shot.
Cleveland. I know you're not you're Odell Beckham.
Yeah, but it's not gonna happen. You know
I know.
why? They've invested too much in Baker Mayfield.
He's the face and all that stuff. I got it.
They're gonna fall flat before they even think about bringing in a backup that can create some controversy. But certain teams are also limited with Colin Kaepernick because they just don't want what potentially could become
He can bring.
a problem, too much media,
Right.
a distraction.
Right.
But if you're like 2-7,
What does it matter?
distraction.
What does it matter?
You need something to get somebody to watch you play. If you're the Bengals,
Yep.
you
Jets,
know, if you're
Giants.
the Jets, if you're the Giants, if you're even like the Chargers.
Colin Kaepernick is in Atlanta right now on Saturday. He's got to work out for 11 teams. Oh, boy, the whole NFL, right?
Whoever wants to come watch Colin Kaepernick work out on Saturday
Right.
in Atlanta, come out there now. Half of
And
those teams
look up Katrina. She'll be down there also.
and look out for Katrina from a different lens. She'll be down there covering that. Half of these teams aren't really serious about signing them.
It's just some bullshit.
They're gonna do the posturing.
Yeah.
They don't want to be the teams that are down with the collusion.
Right.
We took a look.
Yeah, we
But
did that.
the problem is the backups are so horrible.
Somebody's gonna take a chance.
Some of the names of these backups, guys that you know in a million years wouldn't be competitive, to not take a guy who threw for 300 yards in the Super Bowl, lost by 3, could have won it,
Yeah.
did nothing to show that he isn't on the level of at least being a starter for one of these bum teams out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's tiring to even speak about it anymore. You know.
So in that segment, we're going to end it right now. Talk about black quarterbacks and how dominant they are right now as far as the NFL is concerned, despite the naysayers.
It's a story.
Despite those that go against what
It's a
tradition. They forget we had Doug Williams is great. Warren Moon is probably one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
Randall Cunningham was probably one of the greatest. He revolutionized the sport when he came out with the
Randall Cunningham definitely revolutionized the sport.
Donovan McNabb,
And my whole thing is I acknowledge all of those guys. Randall, Donovan,
Dante Culpepper,
Briscoe. All the old guys. Gilliam from the Steelers. Steve and McNabb. Like I'm not playing checkers when I talk. So I read my article about Russell Wilson and how modern times he's the most important quarterback in history, and everybody's talking about quarterbacks from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It don't matter anymore, bro.
Yeah.
It's 2020. And Russell Wilson is the guy that won the Super Bowl after Doug Williams. Then went back the next year. Not only got better as a passer, showed people that dual threat quarterbacks are the greatest quarterbacks of all time if you can find the right one in the right system. Like a Russell Wilson. Pete Carroll coaches in the NFL to this day only because of Russell Wilson and the fact that Pete Carroll's signature move, his claim to fame in his career will always be drafting Russell Wilson in that 3rd round.
Yep.
6 quarterbacks were drafted ahead of Russell Wilson. So to tell me that talking about black quarterbacks isn't an issue, that's people that's just uncomfortable dealing with race.
MVP. Who's MVP? This year right now. Season in there right now. Who's MVP?
Russell Wilson is my MVP this season. I don't think
I got Lamar.
there's any competition. There are people who will say Lamar. Why? Because Lamar's like that new toy.
No, he's
That new toy that you take out the box.
one.
It's time for Russell Wilson to get his NFL MVP award. Call it a Lifetime Achievement Award. Call it an overdue award. It is time for Russell Wilson to get his MVP. This is his year. Lamar Jackson will have other years. It's like when Derek Jeter didn't get that MVP that year, he hit 340, and they gave it to a Minnesota Twin. That was Derek Jeter's year to get it.
He's still harboring feelings from the 90s.
I'm just saying, he's one of the greatest players of all time, and he never get
So what about
an
Shaq and
MVP.
Steve Nash?
What about
Iverson. Steve Nash is both of those MVPs.
No, Kobe should have gotten it 1 year.
And then,
Maybe his Nash deserved it 1 year. Oh, Iverson could have got another year. But Phoenix was good, but he definitely wasn't a back-to-back MVP, and they definitely robbed Kobe of an MVP.
here we go. So, come on, take us out. Here we go, we got our hot takes. Jared's gonna talk to you guys about his favorite actor right now. It's rapper turned actor. Go.
Oh, Dave East, man. I know Dave East has some new music out right now, but I think he's been doing an incredible job showing that his diversity and the length of his talents with his role in Wu-Tang. And then I saw him on another movie the other day. I can't remember what it is, but I see his ability to do different roles. And every now and then, a rapper emerges as a legitimate actor. I say an Ice Cube, who did some serious roles, and Ice-T, who has done, when you've done a myriad roles and all different types of concentrations, I think that gives you a lot of respect as an actual artist rather than just a rapper acting. For a minute, Ja Rule was doing good with those little movies, he had gone, but then he fell off. But acting turned rapper is not always easy. 50's decent as well, but I think Dave East has a real future as an actor, because when I look at him act, I can feel it.
It's genuine too.
It's genuine. Different LenZ.
I'm gonna go. All right, ready? And we out. This is another great episode at Different LenZ.
That's right.
I'm Mark Williams. He is
the gambler, baby, the tragic antagonist.
And Katrina, we wish you well down in Atlanta. Let us know how Colin Kaepernick is doing, and he's got to support, because we're going to support him throwing that football. Hopefully he gets a job. If not, we're going to come down and turn shit up. Different LenZ.
Different LenZ, baby.
Now, yeah. Now, yo.